are these better than plastic water bottles? The answer is, it depends. Hello and welcome to a video about hydration, which you may or may not find exciting depending on who you are. Today I am reviewing the Bivo water bottle, which I've been using for a few months now, and I have a lot of opinions on. Full disclosure, I did not pay for these water bottles. However, Bivo did not send them to me. I was gifted them by a friend who is affiliated with Bivo, so take that for what it's worth. But nobody told me to say anything in this particular review, and in fact, nobody knows that I'm actually doing this. So everything in this video is my opinion and mine alone. Bivo makes stainless steel water bottles that are meant to be an alternative to the traditional plastic cycling water bottles. They currently come in a couple of different models. They come in a 21 ounce, a 25 ounce, which is what I'm using, and they just came out with an insulated version, which I have not tried. The ones that I have are single wall and are not insulated. So I've been using these bottles for quite a few months now, probably since February or March, and I have complex feelings on them. Let me just get into the pros and cons and we'll go from there. So the pros. They're really nice. They're really nice quality. When you feel them and you're holding them and you drink from them, you're like, this is a quality product. They feel nice in your hand. They're nice and heavy, but not too heavy. And the material that they're made out of just feels, texture-wise, feels nice in the hand. The color choices are really nice as well. They're just these deep hues, and I personally find them very satisfying. It's really easy to drink from. You can either kind of pull the water with your mouth, or you can just hold it up like that and the water just flows right out. You can buy an additional dust cap, which prevents any kind of debris or mud or dust from getting on the mouthpiece of the water bottle. However, they cost $5, and I wish that they just came with the water bottle instead of having to pay an additional $5 to these already really expensive water bottles. Another thing that I really like about these is that they don't retain smells in the way that plastic water bottles do. If you put like hydration mix and stuff in your water bottles like I do, you know, sometimes it just like sticks ever so slightly to the plastic, and over time it becomes really gross. However, these, because they're made out of stainless steel, don't retain smells the way that plastic does, and I find that to be really nice. These also have fit every single water bottle cage that I've used on my bikes. They don't rattle around, and I think this is in part because it's wrapped in silicone, so it's got this kind of noise canceling aspect to it. Bivo also sells a raw version of this, which probably maybe makes a little bit more noise, but I have friends who have these water bottles and they don't complain about it at all. So I overall find that they don't rattle around and that they fit most bottle cages. So these are overall the pros, and overall I really enjoy using them. I've bring them to the gym with me. I bring them on all of my rides. They've largely replaced all of the plastic water bottles I use because I find them to be so nice. With plastic water bottles, they get hot, they get gross. It's just like not a good time. But let's get into the cons. And the absolute biggest con is that these bottles are f***ing expensive. They're so expensive. Let me see how much they are, because I forgot to write it down in my notes. So the smallest one, which is the one that I don't have, I have the next size up, for the single wall version starts at $34. The raw version of the 25 ounce is $39. And then the ones that I have are 25 ounces and they are $44. So this is for a pair of water bottles. You're spending nearly $100. And if you get the dust caps, you're spending even more if you include taxes. So some other things that are on the con list is that they scratch really easily. If I'm gonna pay this much for a water bottle, I want it to be flawless. However, Bivo does seem to acknowledge that this is just an aspect of this particular product design, and they even talk about it on their website. If you are thinking about buying these and you really don't want any scratches on your water bottles or anything like visible that's gonna obstruct the color or anything like that, you can always get the raw one, which is unfinished and doesn't have a color in it. They are also heavier than plastic. They weigh 173 grams or 6 ounces, which is almost half a pound. So they're pretty weighty. If you were trying to be as light as possible all the time, then this might not be the right choice for you. I was also reading around reviews of this bottle while I was prepping for this video, and something another reviewer pointed out was that if you race and this falls out of the bottle cage, it could be a potential hazard for the people racing behind you. It's much easier to run over a plastic water bottle than it is one made of stainless steel. That's the end of my cons. Let me tell you kind of overall what my conclusions about this product are. Okay, so it is a different day. I decided to refilm the end of this video because I went on this really long rant about capitalism that had nothing to do with the review at all. And it was also a little bit more scathing than I really intended it to be. So my final conclusions and the first take of this review, I just reflected on, and I wanted to be a little bit more thoughtful rather than dismissive. I don't think that my conclusions were particularly fair. So my overall thoughts on this product, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, are kind of complex. I think that this is a really nice product. I think these water bottles are luxury. They feel really nice in the hands. They're nice to carry around. They're a nice size. They're a nice color. They overall feel a lot different than your regular plastic cycling water bottle. And I have genuinely enjoyed using them. I literally use them every day. I use them this morning on a ride. I bring them to the gym. I bring them to work. I bring them to do most of the things that I like to do throughout the day. And I find that I just really enjoy using them. I get some satisfaction out of that. But the biggest takeaway from this, and where some of the complex feelings and nuance comes in, is that the price is really hard to swallow. $100 for a pair of water bottles is a lot of money. But I do think that there are some people where that might be worth it. If you are someone who replaces your plastic water bottles multiple times in a year, or you use a lot of hydration mix in your water bottles and you are just finding that your plastic bottles are getting really gross and you already spend a lot of money on replacing them, this might be a really viable alternative for you. Also, if you come from a higher income bracket and you don't mind spending that money on a really quality product that is also based in sustainability and has sustainable values as a company, that's awesome. And this might also be a product for you. But I think that for your more average consumer, for your more casual cyclist, this is a hard sell. I think being an environmentally conscious consumer in the United States is often only possible when you are coming from a place of privilege. It's really hard to think about buying water bottles for this much money. But I think that it has a place, it has a market, and I think Bivo has a really good product and a really good sustainable product and a sustainability pledge that if you are an environmentally conscious consumer and you also have the means to buy these, I think this is a really good product. And I think that's just about all I have to say about that. This video has kind of given me a run for my money. I've never thought about water bottles this deeply before. So anyway, yeah, those are my concluding thoughts. If you guys have other thoughts that you want to share about Bivo or about being environmentally sustainable, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this content and you want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.